Welcome back to the video, and today's video is going to be all about day 4 on Elvanse, my ADHD medication. And for those of you that haven't watched the previous video, I'm now 37, got diagnosed with ADHD a few months ago now. I don't know the exact period. It's less than 2 months, more than a month, and I'm documenting how I'm feeling day to day. So today was day 4. As I spoke about last video, you'd have heard me talk about the use of L-theanine along with my ADHD medication to try and subside some of the jittery effects that I was feeling. Today, just so I knew properly whether the L-theanine was making the jitters go away or it was because my body's got used to the medication, I didn't take anything other than my ADHD medication today. And the good thing is, I've had a really good day today. I didn't have any jitters. I felt full of energy. I actually felt really, really good in myself. I've got this really weird energy aura about me today. You know them days when you're just feeling good? It's been one of those days. So I'm kind of hoping we're on a bit of a curve here with the medication. I said in the last one that I was debating whether the ADHD medication was going to alleviate some of my worst ADHD tendencies, which are the fact I get a bit overwhelmed sometimes. I feel a bit claustrophobic. I struggle to deal with conflict. I take things very personally. Now, I've pretty much got this under wraps anyway before taking medication or before I'd even been diagnosed. But as I believe that everyone should be, I'm just trying to be the best person I can be, not only for myself, but for my family. So that's one thing that I really wanted to take away. And yesterday I was really doubting whether that was going to subside with the use of ADHD medication. But today I'm feeling really good about it. There are some differences. I mean, I always mention this. Now, it's really hard to gauge because what I have done, I've gone from being at home. So for those of you that don't know, I do a week at home and I do a week at work. I'm currently on my week at work, so it's my first day back in the office. I work away and I stay in a hotel and I stay away. So I've got this nice looking hotel that you can see behind me. So there's an element of that, and I think sometimes with ADHD that there's that this is my own time, although I'm at work and I'm very, very busy with work. It's almost like I know what I'm doing here. There's no it's very structured where I am. Although my days are all over the place, some days I work long days, some days I don't have to work as long. It just feels very structured. I think the work environment feels very safe to me. And that's a weird analogy to say, but that is how it makes me feel. So there's all these things that come into play, but my gut feeling is the ADHD medication is really working and really working well today. And like I mentioned at the start, I haven't taken any L-theanine today. So because I didn't have the jitters yesterday, I didn't know whether that was because I took L-theanine, which is well known for letting the jitters subside of any sort of stimulatory medication. I think my body's just got used to it today. So yeah, one thing I have felt, and I haven't mentioned about this, is ADHD medication is prone for giving headaches. Now, I'm someone who's quite prone to getting headaches anyway, but I've sort of felt like I've been on the verge of having a headache a few times. What I would say to anyone taking ADHD medication is just make sure you're well hydrated. I've got a hydration formula, and it's just full of pink Himalayan salt, some coconut extract, loads of other things that keep you hydrated. And I've been taking that religiously. I mean, I take that religiously prior to the ADHD medication anyway. So I'm just continuing to do that, continuing to make sure I drink enough. And that definitely seems to be helping. So just be aware of these things. If you are prone to headaches, even if you're not prone to headaches, make sure you're drinking enough. And I think that's pretty much it for today's video. I will have a little ramble at the end, as always. Something I mentioned on the previous video is I've been talking to people about ADHD lately, and I'm sure you've been there. A few people said to me, oh yeah, everyone's getting ADHD now because of their phones. and the attention span, which I definitely think there's some sort of attention disorder there. But from what I've gathered with the data and from what my diagnosis was with the doctor, you're either born with ADHD or you're not. And it's not really something you can train. And please do correct me if I'm wrong, but that was the gut feeling. Well, that was the feeling I got from the doctor who diagnosed me. And the reason being is because they ask you a lot of questions regarding your childhood and before the age of 12. So before the age of 12, did you notice this, this, or this? And that's because they need to understand that you had ADHD as a child. This isn't something else that's showing up in later life. So I've had a few people say that. I've also got, there's a few like elderly people in my family, and I've mentioned about ADHD, and one of them just didn't understand it whatsoever. And I didn't take the time to go into it because I thought, you know, I don't really need them to get it. It's not really a big thing. And the other member of my family, and I don't want to name any names because it's not really on them. I think it's just something I wanted to talk to you a lot about, just to make other people feel comfortable if they're in the same situation, or just feel relatable a bit, because I think everyone's going to struggle with this. The second person I mentioned it to, they was almost implying that I was going to use this ADHD diagnosis as an excuse to not be better. You know, let's say I act up in a certain way or I'm a bit moody in certain situations. They was almost implying that I'm just going to use the ADHD to say, well, I'm moody because of my ADHD, which, if you think about what we're doing, we've spent money on getting diagnosed, or if you've done it through the NHS or whatever your medical services, you've spent a lot of time going to the doctor and persuading them to get the diagnosis, and then you've gone through the taking the tablets. If you're just going to use it as an excuse, like, would you really be taking the tablets? Like, it's quite, again, this is me being defensive because like it's quite offensive to me. Like, I took a bit of offence to that. But I think I looked at it on the surface, you know. I think especially like the older generation, there's a lot of stuff they just don't get, and they are from like a just get on with it era, aren't they? You know, like their parents had more than likely just come out of like a war-torn era, and then they got treated like as such. You know, the times are quite harsh. You know, my parents had quite a hard upbringing, so I sort of get it. I mean, I think there is a lot of this like, let's put labels on things in this day and age, which I'm not entirely like brought into. So I was quite reluctant to get my ADHD diagnosis, but I personally really wanted to try the medication because I'd seen so many good things about it and read so many good things about it. And ultimately, what I'm getting to is the fact that, you know, if you've gone through the process of trying to get diagnosed, you're doing it because you want to be a better person. I'm not doing it because I want to take some drugs. That's something I'm really against, actually, like just taking random prescription pills. So yeah, that was just something I wanted to ramble on about at the end. I think it's something I'm sure a lot of you will come in contact with as well, where people don't genuinely get it. And I think as a general rule, people just don't fully understand ADHD. And you know what? A year ago, I was exactly the same. I didn't fully get it. You know, I thought it was that hyperactive kid in class that's jumping up and down, that's throwing a chair across the room, you know, all the other things that just spring to mind when you think of ADHD. When realistically, and me myself, it's up here. It's not, I'm not throwing my hands around doing all this. And I mean, I'm trying to talk my hands a little bit here, but that's not really how I am. I'm not that outward. I say I'm fairly introverted. So, yeah. Interesting point. Be interesting to know if any of you lot have experienced something similar. I've definitely seen other videos talking about it and talking about how people don't fully get it, and I can see why. I completely get it. But that's me. I've nearly rambled on for 10 minutes. This is the end of day 4. I will apologise for the visuals in the last video. I did a recap of day 3 the morning after, just before I come back to work, and the sun was blurring. I just wanted to get the video out. I'm quite keen to get these documented. I want to try and I'm going to do at least the first week until till it settles in a little bit, until these videos are like the norm and I'm just repeating myself, the stuff that I said the day before. But the big takeaways for today is I've actually got some some higher hopes now. Yesterday's video, I said I wasn't convinced that ADHD medication was going to take away any overwhelm. I was just feeling the focus side of it. Whereas today, I'm really feeling that that could be a genuine possibility. Yeah, and it's difficult to say, isn't it? I've even been feeling more affectionate to my partner, which I'm affectionate to a degree anyway. But I definitely feel that people with ADHD, from the research I've done, and giving myself as an example, because our heads are spinning around so much, it's sometimes hard to give certain people a lot of attention because we're thinking about a million different things at once. But I've definitely felt more connected, but there's a whole host of reasons here because, like I said in the previous video, that it was my partner's birthday. We've had a really good time. We went to a wedding. We've done all these really good things lately, which can bring you closer together as well. So whether it's the medication, whether it's the fact we've done all this good stuff together, whether it's the fact I'm feeling a bit more chilled out, whether it's the fact I'm using this YouTube channel as almost like a diary. I'm getting stuff off my chest every day. I'm talking about the way I'm feeling. Who knows? But I think only time will tell. We'll keep doing these videos. And my battery's just about to run out on the camera, so please do all the good YouTube stuff. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.